Welcome everyone to Choice Conversations, the podcast dedicated to helping you improve your life, one choice at a time. I'm your host, Chris Stefanick. Let's do this. Hey gang. Today I'm going to talk to you about a time management tool known as the pomodoro technique. Now, if you're already familiar with the pomodoro technique, don't tune out just quite yet. I do have a somewhat unique take on this. I have a way that I use it that I find is really powerful, really helpful. So you'll want to stick around for that. And it's just going to be a short show, hopefully just 10 minutes or less. So stick around for that. Before I get into that, I did want to let you know, if you have not signed up to get my free ebook, my 8 most influential books, go ahead and check that out. It's at books.choiceconversations.com. Again, it's free. It's the books that have had the biggest impact on my life, the ones that I recommend the most to other people, and I recommend certainly to you all listening to this. So books.choiceconversations.com, sign up and get the free ebook. You will not be disappointed. They are super powerful. Okay, so the Pomodoro technique. It's again, like I said, it's a time management tool. It was originally developed by Francesco Cirillo, or Cirillo. I always want to say it the Spanish pronunciation, which to me looks like Cirillo or Cirillo, but I guess in Italian, he's Italian, and I think it's Cirillo. Anyways, the way it works is it's your time is broken up into work intervals. Traditionally, this is 25 minutes. I have seen some people expand that out to up to like 33 minutes. But it's you have a work interval and then it's interrupted by a short break. When you're doing this, you decide. The first thing you do is you decide on the task to be done during that work interval. That's the only task you can do. You're not checking emails, you're not checking your phone, you're not doing other stuff, you're not going on Facebook. You sit down with, if it's a pen and paper or if it's your laptop or whatever it is, if it's a piece of wood and some nails, whatever the task at hand is, you sit down with that and you don't do anything about that task. If you've got writer's block, you just sit there and stare at the page. You don't allow yourself to go away. I found it to be wonderful for writer's block because what happens when you have writer's block and you're sitting there, you wait like 30 seconds, a minute, and you're like, let me just see what's on Facebook. Or let me just check email while I'm trying to think of something. I've got writer's block, I'll do that. And then, a half hour later, you've done nothing and you're still on Facebook or whatever. And you're like, oh, let me try again. I still can't think of what to write next. But if you just sit there and you say, I can't do anything but work on this for these next 25 minutes, it's pretty rare that you don't start having words flow out of you, Your mind just says, okay, I guess we're going to do this. And, maybe you're sitting there for 2 minutes, but then eventually something comes out, right? So it's really great for if you've got writer's block. But okay, so first thing you do is you select on what's the task to be done. Then you set a timer, and it actually gets the name from, there's a Pomodoro kitchen timer. I think Pomodoro is Italian for tomato. So there's tomato timers. And, you set it, typically, like I said, for 25 minutes. You work on the task and that task alone. And then when the timer goes off, you take a short break, like a 3 to 5 minute break. And then you go back and do another Pomodoro. And you do that, I think they say, 3 or 4 times, I think is the official method. I don't necessarily use it this way, and we'll get into how I use it in a minute. But the official method is you do it 4 times. And after that, then you take a longer break, like a 15 to 30 minute break. And then you go back to 0 at that point. Then you do 4 more Pomodoros with 3 to 5 minute breaks and then a longer break. So that's the general idea behind it. The benefits of it is it really helps you to get into focus and flow. Having just one task, we all are distracted by our devices and by email notifications and these sort of things, or just something pops into your head. You're working on one project, another project pops into your head, and you start working on that. And there's a huge benefit to be gained by flow and continuing to work on one task at a time. You have everything you need in front of you. Your mind is set. You have your mind set to work on it. I like to call it, I use a computer term a context reset. Anytime you switch tasks, you have to do a context reset. So this is basically a context reset is in the computer world when a program is running and the processor switches from one program to another, it has to load the context, which is like all the variables. So it like dumps the variables from the program it was running, loads in the new ones, and then begins work. And that takes up time to do that. And it is an inefficiency. And if you're doing context resets all the time, then your processor can end up spending half of its time on just swapping out variables and not actually doing the work itself, where it's much more efficient just to stick on one program and run it to completion. That way you only have to do that context reset one time instead of all over again. But you do this in your mind when you're working on tasks. You have to do a context reset. So that's the big advantage there is you get into your focus and flow on one task at hand. It's nice to have that break when you're working on one task for a long time, hours on end. Your mind starts to become foggy. You lose focus, where short periods you can maintain that focus. You have a break and then you can go back into it and be fully focused again. So, 2 25-minute Pomodoros broken up by a 5-minute break, you tend to get more done than if you just worked for 50, 60 minutes straight in a row because your focus starts to fade. So that's another big advantage of keeping it short and letting those breaks in there. Another thing I really like, mobility is something I talk a lot about this. And if you've been listening to this podcast for a while now, you know that I'm a supporter of the sitting solution. The sitting solution is a product that can help you to maintain mobility as you age and eliminate back pain and discomfort and things of that nature. But one of the big tenets behind the sitting solution is you shouldn't be in one position for a long period of time. So the Pomodoro technique works great for this because you get a 3 to 5 minute break every 25 minutes to get you a chance to get up and move around. I always, when I'm doing this using the Pomodoro method, I always change position at that point. If I was sitting on the couch, I get up, I go for a walk for 3 to 5 minutes or whatever, whatever it is, stretch out, move around, and then when I sit down to work again, I go to a different position. Maybe I go work on the floor. Maybe I go over to my standing desk. Maybe I pick a task that doesn't require sitting at all. Like, okay, well, the next thing I'm going to do is do some dishes, and I can do standing at the sink or whatever, or go rake leaves or something like that. So it's also a really great way of keeping your body from adapting to sitting in one position and losing mobility, which is just so terrible for you. So I'm going to go ahead and put a link to the sitting solution in the show notes to this. And I encourage you to check that out. It's really great for helping you maintain mobility and as you age and be spry rather than needing a walker and having a lot of pain as you get older. That's all caused to being sedentary. So check that link out. Now, the other big benefit that this is, to my knowledge, is kind of a unique take that I have on it, is I see the Pomodoro technique as a great way to do something that I'm procrastinating on, something that I do not want to do. I'm like, it's got to get done, but I keep putting it off. I've found that having this magic limit, I only have to work on this 25 minutes, allows me to work on stuff that I otherwise am putting off. Like, oh man, I really don't want to write that paper. I really don't want to work on that project, whatever it is. Knowing that I only have to work 25 minutes and I'm done. At that point, I can go do something different. Like I said, I like to do something different anyways. I like to go rake leaves or something like that. I found it's like magic. It's like, oh, I can do this task now. It's not such a big 25 minutes. I can handle 25 minutes. It's got to get done. Sure, I'll do it. Where otherwise, say the task, it's going to take about an hour. So maybe 2 Pomodoros it's going to take, or maybe it's just unknown how long it's going to take. You're like, this is going to take hours. It's going to take days. And it's just too much for your mind to think like, oh my God, if I sit down, am I going to have to keep working for 8 hours to make a dent in this thing? But no, when you have a very explicit timeline, this much and no more, for me, it works great as far as to overcoming that procrastination. And I can then say, you know what, this isn't such a challenging thing. This isn't going to be so bad. And I can sit down and throw myself into it. And I found it to be great. I found it, I overcome the procrastination. I throw myself into it fully. I'm super focused. And a lot of times, like 25-minute Pomodoro, I'm done. because I'm so focused on it and wanting to get it done that, I really throw myself into it. So really great stuff. I encourage you to check it out. Try it yourself. See if it works for you once. If you're procrastinating on something, you don't have to do this like, keeping track of 4 Pomodoros, taking 3 to 5 minutes between each one, and then taking a longer break after that. Just try to do 1 Pomodoro. Say, you know what? There's a project I've been putting off. I'm just going to sit down today and do 1 Pomodoro, 25 minutes, and do it. And see if you can sit down and do it. See if that allows you to get over your procrastination and sit down and do it. It works for me. I hope it works for you. All right. We are nearing Christmas, just a few days away. Super excited. With that, I'm announcing a special gift for you all. If you sign up for the personal development course, Surviving to Thriving, I am going to give to you, my Christmas gift to you, 3, count 'em, coaching sessions. 3. Not 1, not 2, 3 coaching sessions with me. That's $150 value. I'm just going to gift it to you all to help you get started, to help you improve your life, to help you to make 2018 awesome. And, I can think of no better way for you to do that than to purchase Surviving to Thriving. There'll be a link to that in the show notes. And then to work with me. I'll help coach you along the way. And if you get any sticking points or stuff like that, I'll be there to help you out. So sign up for that. There is a time limit to that, so it is up until the end of the year. So you have until midnight on December 31st. Go ahead and there'll be a link to Surviving to Thrive in the show notes. Sign up for it. Once you sign up, take a screenshot of that, email it to me by New Year's Eve, 2017, and I'll get you on the calendar. I'll get back to you, and we'll start scheduling your first session, and we'll go from there. Check that out, and I know you will not be disappointed. And if you are disappointed, there is a full money back guarantee on that, so you really had nothing to lose. Money back guarantee if you're not happy, and 3 coaching sessions with yours truly. All right. Thank you so much for listening in today. And you know what? I'm not going to end with my normal ending for this show. Just have happy holidays, folks. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Hanukkah, whatever it is you're celebrating. Enjoy your time with your family. Enjoy time off from work. Take a minute to reflect on how great 2017 was, what you're grateful for, and look forward to a year of growth in 2018. Take care.